Turn it around to the reverse side, where you see the two great seals of the United States of America.
Yep.
Okay? Now, if you notice, it says those are supposed to be the two great seals of the United States of America, correct?
Yep.
Those aren't. Those are the two seals of the Order of the Illuminati. Now, I have all this memorized from my days in the Illuminati.
Now, this went on the dollar bill in 1935, but this reflects ancient beliefs of secret societies that go back literally before the birth of Christ. It symbolizes the ancient goal of secret societies of the establishment of what in Scripture we see in Revelation 13 as the reign of the beast and the false prophet.
Of the Great Seal, it's a very fascinating story. I got one right here. The Great Seal of the United States, or is it the Great Seal of the Illuminati? There's a lot more than meets the eye.
This is not some soulless factory. This is long, quiet days with the Father. This is obedience. This is cold, early mornings, tired, rough hands, and hot summer days. This is quality before quantity. This is where you're not just a customer, you're a client. I don't just work for you, but with you. This is where your ideas come to life. I am Joshua Watts. I love what I do and that I'm able to use my skills to serve our Father and you. I look forward to working with you. This is Joshua Watts Leathercomb.
This is an historic moment. We have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Nothing less than a new world order. This is the pledge of the world's most powerful leaders, representing 90% of the global economy. Thursday's G20 summit, they say, has changed the rules of the game.
People dying, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. And we've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
I appeared before the Congressional Committee to tell what I knew of activities which might lead to an attempt to set up a fascist dictatorship.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
President Bush signed a formal agreement that will end the United States as we know it. And he took the step without approval from either the U.S. Congress or the people of the United States.
The secret organizations of the world power elite are no longer secret.
It's known as the Bilderberg Group. Could their objective be world domination?
Declaring war on the New World Order. TruthRadioShow.com. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Breaking the New World Order with your host, Dan Bidondi, right here on TruthRadioShow.com. So what's going on, everybody? We are live, and this is May 17th, 2023 edition, a worldwide transmission. And thank you, everybody in the chat room. It's piling up here in the chat room up here on YouTube. So, guys, if you don't have a YouTube subscription, guys, just subscribe to YouTube so you can take part in the live chat that's going on. So, we've got a lot of news to talk about tonight. Invasion USA is the right word, the right phrase I should use for the show tonight, because the southern border, as you all know, the Title 42 has been lifted, and now we have a massive invasion coming. Lots of migrants and Chinese people coming into the southern border. And why would Chinese nationalists come into the southern border? They've been doing that for a while now. There's hundreds of them coming through at least. So we're going to report on all that too. But before we get going, guys, this Friday on the Spiritual Warfare Friday with me and Brian Reese, Nephilim Hero and also Trey Harris too, host of Course Correction Radio. He's going to be joining us. Nephilim Heroes of Old in the Marvel Universe. So basically, we're going to go down the Marvel comic stuff, right, and tell you where all the stuff came from, you know what I mean, and what it has to do with the Nephilim, and what it has to do with the future coming up when these Nephilim return here on the earth. So we talk about this stuff all the time, guys, and it's going to be a very exciting show. Trey Harris and Brian Reese here, they're going to nail this down big time. So this is Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, so please check that out. And also, thank you, FOJCRadio.com and BeforeIt'sNews.com for carrying the show and an awesome, amazing networks. And also, tonight's show is sponsored by WattsLeather.com, where a custom project becomes a reality. Custom leather project becomes a reality. So check them out, guys, WattsLeather.com. So, crazy stuff going on here in all of the United States. And if you haven't noticed, it's Title 42 that's been lifted. So, in Title 42, which expired last week, all right, it was basically during the lockdowns, whatever the case, the pandemic, okay, President Trump at the time initiated an order called Title 42. It was to keep these migrants out of the United States during the pandemic, okay? I got to watch what I say on this stuff because YouTube's nifty, with this stuff. So anyway, and it was a U.S. policy to bring little relief to asylum seekers facing many other border curbs, experts say. So anyway, this was lifted. All right, so now we got millions of people flooding the border, millions, okay? And our Border Patrol is not doing their job. The National Guard are useless as taps on the bill. I can't say the word, but the boobs on the bull, okay? That's what they are. They're useless, all right? So basically these people are just waltzing in this country and nobody's doing nothing about it at all. So what is this? This is Invasion USA, and we talk about this all the time. I've been exposing this stuff for years. It's part of the United Nations destabilization of this country. The thing is too, when you try to figure out how do these people all the way from Honduras march for hundreds of miles, over 1,000 miles through the country of Mexico, right? How do they go for all this distance walking? Where the provisions come from? Well, because the United Nations, they're the ones who provide the provisions and the stuff they need. You got people coming over the border with brand new Nikes on, clothes that look like they, fresh on the skin there. And where are they getting the provisions from? Well, the United Nations, they're the ones who've been providing. And what they also been doing too is busing people across the border into Mexico and all that to the right to the border of the United States of America. The United Nations is all part of this. It's a program to destabilize the United States of America. We've been warning people for a long time about this stuff. It's a destabilization program by the United Nations. And what they do is that it's not just here. If you look at all the European countries, right, they flood those countries like France, Italy, and all that, all this stabilized countries to destabilize them. They flood their borders with migrants, or the United Nations does this, right? And again, it's to destabilize these countries. And the best way to take over these countries, the number one is to destabilize them by the economy, right? You destroy their economy, attack their civil liberties, and then you take a country over. Then you have traitors, communist presidents who sign our country over literally to the United Nations during an event of disaster, whatever the case. Bill Clinton done this. So does Barack Obama and the Bushes, okay? And there's no difference, guys. And people say, well, you got the Republican, Democrat. There's no difference between the two. There isn't. The Bushes, Obamas, Clintons are all corrupt. They're all, buddies with each other. They openly admitted it, whatever the case. And this is all part of a plan. To create a North American Union here. They've been trying to do this for a while now, just like the European Union. And this is just horrible. And, there's nothing wrong with people coming to this country. Nobody's ever saying that, because my grandparents, okay, they're from Italy. They came here, but they did it the right way. They went to Ellis Island. They got processed, learned the language here, learned the customs here, and respected them. You know what I mean? Just like if I was to move to Italy, if I was to move to China, if I was to move to North Korea or Russia, right? I would learn their national anthem. I would learn their language. I wouldn't expect the country to bow to me. You know what I mean? So I would respect that country. But a lot of these people come here, they're not doing that. They're not like our family and relatives who came here the right way. Now, if you do that, absolutely, I'll be the first one to, open arms. But the thing is, most of these people coming in, and of course the media, they'll show a bunch of kids and all that, to make it look like a bunch of innocent people. And some are, some just want to get out of those countries and, come here and start a new life. Absolutely. But with at least half these people, guys, they're not doing that. They're sending militarized men here in the United States. And you think they're from Honduras, South America, and Central America, whatever case. No, a lot of these people are Chinese nationals coming here, too. You got MS-13 coming in through the borders, too. You got ISIS members coming through the borders. They got a plan, guys, and their plan is to come in here and really wreak havoc and hell on the United States here. And why do you think they're so hell bent on taking gun rights? Because they know right now they got sleeper cells all over this country, Chinese sleeper cells, Islamic, and all that. They got them all over this country. And the very second that the United States citizens turn in their guns, it's going to be like the Middle East. You got to be driving down the highway with your family and this van pulls up next to you, automatic machine guns firing at you, and you killing you and your family. Yeah, it's going to be just like that here. And why do you think these presidents are hell-bent on taking out your guns rights? Because they know our gun rights right now is the only thing that's keeping this country alive. By a threat at that. And also the hand of God. They know this, okay? That's why they're hell-bent on taking your firearms. They stage these mass shootings all the time, which they allow it to happen, or they commit it themselves. Using MK Ultra families, people on the MK Ultra who wouldn't even know how to operate a weapon. But under the MK Ultra, they could do this, okay? They've been trained to do this. So they do this. They stage mass shootings. The CIA is all behind us. All to get the propaganda to soften people's hearts to say, I guess we should give up our guns. And the thing is, people say, well, we're not taking your gun rights. We're going to talk about this later on, too. We're not taking your gun rights, right? We're just trying to get the assault weapons off the street. There's no such thing as an assault weapon, first of all. We're just trying to get them off the street. So, all right, you take the semi-automatic weapons. What's next? Oh, you can't own anything. You can't own 50 calibers no more. You can't own 45s. You can't own a 357. You can't own 40. You can't own a 9mm. Next thing, you're down to a single-shot 22 rifle. That's it. Then they'll take them, too. They take these things incrementally steps. And the thing is, the whole time, these people, it's the communist agenda, the whole time they're stating, right, we are not attacking your Second Amendment. And they'll go saying, oh, I have a gun and we support the Second Amendment. We're not attacking it, but people shouldn't have weapons of war on the street. That's what they say, right? An AR-15 is an Armalite rifle, not assault rifle. It's not a weapon of war. Even if it was, it's your right to have it. The Constitution makes that clear. We're going to show the slides later. But the Constitution makes that very clear. And the government has no authority to touch them with a 10-foot pole. Congress has no authority, no power to touch the Second Amendment. And people need to understand the first 10 amendments that are called the Bill of Rights, ratified in 1791 by James Madison, right? They are independent of government. They are rules set so government could never take them. They're above their law, above them. Okay, they can't touch them. It's like a prison yard, right? The warden sets rules for the prisoners. The prisoners, they can vote all they want. They can't touch those rules. They can't touch those. Same thing here in America. Those are the rules above government that Congress can't touch with a 10-foot pole. That's why the First Amendment starts right off. Congress shall make no law against these things. And that's what it's about, guys. Destabilizing the country, attacking our economy, right? Look what they're doing. How many of the farms and food production companies? Almost 2,000 of them right here in the United States. The last 2 years, they've been planes mysteriously crashing on them. Fires, I don't know how a fire could kill like 10,000 calves or whatever, 10,000 cows or whatever the case. It doesn't happen like that. Mysteriously doing that, right? They're destabilizing our economy, blowing up pipelines. The Biden administration is caught red-handed blowing up the pipelines. But they're all saying, Russia's the bad guys. Russia's not perfect. No, but it's Ukraine and NATO are the bad guys. And he's using all this guys to send all money over to Ukraine, blowing up pipelines, blowing up production places and all that to kill our food production, telling us we got to eat bugs, flooding the borders with illegals, shipping Chinese nationals here. It's all part of an agenda. So when they come here over the border, they come here, they get money, and they go out buy the guns. They store up these weapons and all that. So when hopefully it doesn't happen, the American people give up their guns. These people are going to have guns. These people are going to be committing acts of terrorism. Okay, be an ISIS state over here. Disarm the population, destabilize the economy. That's what they're doing. This is a war on us, guys. We are at war. People need to realize it's not a conflict going on. This is a total war. Right here in the United States, in Canada, all over the world. A total war, and the people responsible for this, guys, is people from the United Nations, the World Health Organization, NATO. These people are the culprits behind this whole thing. And the sooner people realize that, the sooner the better. These are people are satanic as they come. And you got them up there preaching about God all the time and all that. That's not the God of the Bible, guys. Their God is Satan. People need to realize that. So Title 42 is about to expire here in the U.S., and which it did, and that's what opened the floodgates. And by the way, before this, right, I think immigration was down a good almost 70% or better. If I could quote that correctly, it was high. You know what I mean? That was just down. People didn't even bother coming here because they weren't getting in. But as soon as they heard this was about to expire, mysteriously, millions of people showed up at the border. I wonder how they marched from Honduras and all the countries to get there. You got Chinese flying into these southern countries, right, to go through this border. Right here, okay, this guy points it out here, and this video here shows like violence going down at the border right now. There's firefights with firearms and everything else. Let's play this. This is the other day from the border. People shooting at each other and shooting at traffic. You got the scumbags from the Mexican drug cartels. They're running rampant over there. They're running rampant, and the governments, they can't stop them. This one here, this journalist here, explosive border video reveals dark secrets of invading illegals. So this is his Twitter feed, and I don't know how long this is, but this guy's at the border in Arizona, right? Truly shocking video of bridge built by cartels into America, the drug cartels. That's only part of it, and this is insane. So check it out.
Yuma, Arizona, came to the location where the massive groups are coming across, where the cartel's bringing them across, and you can always tell where that is by the amount of garbage. That's when you know it's active. This is where I actually got video last night of the coyote bringing them across. The guy in this video in the board shorts. This area is controlled by the cartel, yet it's on American soil, and we're not doing anything to stop it. They should be down here arresting that guy. They should be labeling cartels terrorist organizations But instead, Mayorkas and Biden are just incentivizing them to traffic more people, to traffic more drugs, and to trash America. If that's not bad enough, I want to take you over here where they're crossing. And everybody knows it. Yet they're doing nothing about it. They've actually made a bridge. This is the Cartel Bridge. This is Secretary Mayorkas' security. Nobody down here stopping him. Guys, this bridge that I'm standing on, I'm right in the middle of the Rio Grande River, Yuma, Arizona. This bridge was created by the cartel in Mexico. This is simply to allow more illegals to invade America. Border Patrol knows it's here, and they allow it. They fly over this every single day in the helicopter. Rather than coming down here and stopping them or arresting the coyotes that are bringing people across it, they let it stay, and they let people keep coming. Let me just repeat this. The cartel built a bridge from Mexico to U.S. so illegals don't have to get their feet wet walking across the river. And Border Patrol, Secretary Mayorkas, and Joe Biden are allowing it here in Yuma, Arizona. And it's like this all across the border. Everywhere you go. This is what Joe Biden thinks of border security. A cartel bridge that brings them straight in. This is what just citizens what is. And holding.
So that's about it there. And so, yeah, just letting them walk right across, and he's 100% correct. Border Patrol's not doing nothing about it. The National Guard ain't either. They're just, whatever. And they're down there just for the show. That's it. They're down there just for to make it look good for the media. And they're not doing nothing about it at all. You got veterans down there confronting the National Guard. And the thing is, too, for people, they should be down there, okay? People should be down there, militia units and citizens, because it's our job to do that. The Constitution says that. If our government's not doing their job, and it's their job to protect the border. That's one of the jobs of the government, is to protect the border, and they're not doing that. They know what's going on. They know perfectly well what's going to happen to this country. And if you think these elitists, why would they let their own country to get destroyed? They don't care. Why do you think they're all trying to flood into Ukraine? That's why they want to get rid of Russia. So they can have a nice, comfortable spot over in Ukraine where this country goes to hell, and they rebuild it from there. You know, it's like Phoenix in the ashes. You know what I mean? They let it get destroyed, then they rebuild it from there. It's a destabilization program. And guys, thank you for the support as well. I put in the chat room, there's a donation page that helps support our operation, our ministries for the spiritual warfare shows and all that good stuff, and equipment for the show. So I pinned it in the chat room there, and also it's in the description. We got a Ko-Fi site, which you don't have to, sign up for nothing. You drop whatever you want to drop, and for donation, then you just pay for it. You know what I mean, with the card or whatever. No signing up to do. And then we got a PayPal, Venmo, and a CashApp. So we got 4 different ways to help support this operation. And the best way, the 5th way, is to pray for this operation. So that's number 1, praying for us for protection and everything else, because this is crazy. And by the way, I got 2 of my friends. They're from Ordered in America. They are heading down to, and also the Allen Report. So 3 of my friends, they are heading down to the Mexican border real soon, I think next week. So we're going to have them live on the show from the Mexican border. And they're independent journalists and awesome people, great patriots and everything else. My friend Enrique, he runs Ordered in America. You might have seen the videos when they go into post offices and police departments with video cameras to inform them, these police or whatever, about the First Amendment, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool stuff, and they go confront corrupt people, it's awesome stuff. And my friend Chase from the Allen Report, he's been out to Portland, right in the middle of the riots and everything else. He's a great independent reporter. So they're all going down there to the border to confront these jerks, okay, that's paid to protect our borders. They're going down there to show you what's going to really go on. So we're going to have them with a live transmission right here on the show to show you what's going on. Even we might have to run certain special programs to do that, but we're going to be doing that. So that's Chase, Alan, and Enrique. So that's going to be pretty cool. So this over here, and about military, Trump, I'm sorry, let me rephrase this. Okay, Chinese nationals coming through the border.
New video taken on the ground along Central America's Darien Gap shows hundreds of military-aged Chinese men headed toward the U.S. Anthony
Surprise.
Rhode of muckraker.com took that video and joins me now. Anthony, thanks for being here. Why are they coming? Are they seeking asylum?
You know why they're coming.
Why are they coming? Are they seeking asylum or
Yeah, right.
something potentially more nefarious?
I
What do
mean,
you
listen,
think?
I'm not here to speculate. I'm going to let your audience watch the video and you guys can come to your own
What do you guys
conclusions. I don't
think?
want to get into
New video taken on the ground along Central America's Darien Gap shows hundreds of military-aged Chinese men headed toward the U.S.
Do you see any kids with them? Do you see, families like women and children with them? No. Hundreds of Chinese military-aged people. All coming through the border. Well, what do you think they're here for? They're not here to come to start a new life. Where's their families? Where's their children? All you see is hundreds of Chinese men. What else are they coming here for? Yeah, you put it together. And this is something that CNN and the fake news is not really reporting much. I think Fox reported this, but whatever the case. But, most of the news is not even touching us. And they'll show, some of the fake news, they'll show the videos, but they'll say, they'll show a bunch of kids. That's what they'll do to make it look like it's just regular people seeking refuge, which some are. I'm not saying there ain't. But a lot of these people, at least half these people, Chinese nationalists, MS-13, gang cartels, whatever the case, are all coming into the border. As soon as they get through the border, they already have a place to stay. Okay, when they get over the border, they know where to go. All right. They have people already here in the United States that bring these people in on compounds and everything else. And it's all run by the CIA. The CIA is orchestrating all this, guys. And yes, the United Nations and everything else. It's all part of the plan. And check this out in Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn residents outraged. Illegals being housed in the elementary school gymnasium. I don't know if I get the article or not, but there is also New York too. I think I missed the article, but in New York City, okay, they were kicking veterans out of hotels. Out of the hotels, right? Homeless veterans out of the hotels to put illegals on. If that doesn't get you ripped, I don't know what will. But Brooklyn residents outraged illegals being housed in an elementary school gymnasium. Parents worried about the safety of students and potential the aliens brought in the disease. So they're worried about, I don't think it's that they should be worried about, and I can't say too much about it because of YouTube, but the disease, okay, the outbreak and all that, yeah. So it's more than that, okay? They should be worried about the safety because a lot of these immigrants are going all over the place. They're raping people, killing people, and what happens to them, they get a slap on the wrist, okay, thrown in the van and thrown over the border. What they do? Come right back over the border and do it again. They should be worried about the physical safety of their children. So angry parents in New York City's Coney Island area gathered outside the elementary school called PS 188 to voice their frustration around 75 illegal aliens are being housed in the gymnasium of their children's school. And kids as young as 3 and goes up to 5th grade. So, that's crazy. Young little children at school. And they got 75 of these people in the building. But, hold on. Whoa. So, illegals are good enough to go into the elementary schools and gymnasium, right? What about the veterans and Americans? What happened to America first? Oh, that's bigotry, right? Yeah, bigotry. You're a bigot, Dan. It's like, if you want to call me a bigot, go for it. But our people should come first. We got homeless veterans, homeless families in this country, right? They need these shelters. You turn a blind eye to them, but as soon as the illegals come over, oh yeah, come on, we'll give you a heated place to stay, clean food and clothes and everything else. Yeah, come on in. Sickening, huh? And let me see if I can find that too, because it's a hotel vets kicked. I forgot to put this. There is right here, right? It's a New York executive files lawsuit as homeless veterans are getting kicked out of the hotels for migrants. You know what I do? I gather a lot of these articles over the week, whatever, and a lot of times I forget to put them in or whatever the case happens. And So I sometimes always miss an article here and there. But anyway, it's just so much to keep up with anyway. But their final lawsuit, as homeless veterans are getting kicked out of hotels for migrants. And migrants are illegals. That's what they are. That's just a fancy name for illegals. So Orange County executive awaits judge's decision on restraining order to halt the migrant transportation. As dozens of migrants check in to Orange County, New York hotels, the country's executive has sued to stop the immigration surge of watching veterans get kicked out of the hotels. Migrancies. I can't even talk today. Oh man, it's like just like so much to say. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Get kicked out for migrant vacancies. So right now they're waiting for the temporary restraining order until it goes to a full court. But they're waiting for a temporary restraining order from the Supreme Court. But by the time they do this, I mean, by the time the courts get around to issue a restraining order, if they do it, and more likely the Supreme Court will, but by that time, this country will be already flooded. And you think the people in New York are going to kick out the migrants and put the veterans back in there? No. The politicians are corrupt scumbags in there. Right in New York, look at this, the cesspool called New York. It's crazy. And this is our job, guys. This lady nails us down. This is our constitutional job, duty, okay, to protect this country. Yes, me, you, and regular people. And here's why.
Constitution requires our government to defend.
We do this here.
Section 4 of our Constitution requires our government to defend and protect our borders. If our government does not, the Constitution authorizes the free citizens to defend themselves and their state in place of a treasonous government. Side note, in not defending our borders, our government gives aid and comfort to a hostile foreign invasion. And this, under Article 3, Section 3 of our Constitution, is properly labeled as treason. Article 4, Section 4 of our Constitution requires our government to defend and protect our borders.
So we have it. The Constitution makes it very clear. As I said at the beginning of the show here, it's our duty to protect it. And if I lived near the area, I would definitely be down there. I would take my rifle, go down there, and protect this border. I would gather a lot of people. And I'm sure there's a lot of Texans out there doing that, and people from Arizona, militia groups, patriots, and just people in general going down to these borders, volunteering that time to do the job that our government should be doing. And here's what I say, man. If you're down there, you got large groups of people, man, you go down and protect those borders. And if the feds get in your way, yeah, you take them out too. Arrest them. That's what needs to be done, to teach them a lesson. You can't. Thing is, they are being paid to protect our border, right? They took a sworn oath to do that. If they're not doing that, they're part of the problem. They're the enemy. They should be arrested too. Useless Homeland Security, useless CIA, useless Border Patrol. And half the National Guard's down there, a bunch of useless as tits on the bull. And I'm going to say it just like that. That's how they are. And it's sickening. And the thing is, if you went down there, like the media will label you as a terrorist and a bigot. How dare you go down and protect your border? How dare you? Really is. It's horrible. Really is. It's just like people need to do something about this stuff. Yeah. And but more than likely, what's going to happen is like, this is being set up for the next election. That's what it's for. This is being set up for the next election, and the thing is, they know, okay? And I'm not out here parading for Trump, okay? But they know damn well. They know damn well when elections come, okay? Biden's going bye-bye. Unless, I can't say it on here, but unless it's, from last time, what happened? Yeah. I can't say it on YouTube, but you get the point, right? Unless they really do it that way this time, yeah, they're going to lose. And a lot of people think it's done by design too, but we'll see. But President Biden wants Howard University. Howard, that's Harvard. Anyway, the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy. Oh yeah, white supremacy, right? And then nobody likes white supremacy. Like the Klan and all that, which is CIA and FBI sponsored, by the way. All racist groups. Black Panthers, CIA, the Black Panthers, KKK, skinheads, all these racist groups, okay, they're all sponsored by the feds. And speaking of that, I don't know if you've seen these clowns in D.C. claiming to be Trump supporters or not. They got mask over the head, khaki pants. It's a white national group. And half of these people are feds, the FBI. But yeah, and this is all done by design. So, but yeah, white supremacy is the biggest problem, the biggest threat to this country. But yeah, never mind the hundreds, probably thousands of Chinese nationals coming over the border. Never mind that. Never mind the MS-13 coming over the border, killing people and raping people. Never mind that. Never mind the Mexican drug cartels who work with the CIA guys. It's all. The thing is that the CIA and all them, they could have took those guys out easily. Once in a blue moon, you'll hear that the feds made a big bust in Mexico. They went after a major drug cartel, right? You know why they go after them? They know where every one of those people live and what they do. They could take them all out easily. Why they go after them is when they stop paying tribute to Uncle Sam. That's when they'll go make this big bust and there'll be a media entourage to look, oh, we're doing our job. We took down a cartel. In the meantime, they don't tell you, shh, we're flying opium and all that stuff into the country on CIA planes and all that. Yeah, we're shipping guns to them. And we're taking drugs into the country. The whole drug business here is run by the CIA. Above the cartels, their governor is the CIA. And again, the only time they go after a cartel, okay, or a leader, okay, a big kingpin in the drug industry, right? They know who they are, where they are in the United States and all over Central America. They know where they are. But the only time they take them down is when they stop paying tribute to Uncle Sam. When they start going rogue their own way, that's when they take them out. Then they'll make a big media, oh, look at us. We're doing our job. We took down a major drug cartel. No. Then they just replace with somebody else. So the biggest threat to our homeland right here is literally terrorist federal agencies. And I'm not saying everybody in the CIA or the FBI and all that is bad people. They're not. It's the people at the top. They know damn well what's going on. And these groups are unconstitutional in the first place. But yeah, this is Biden saying, oh yeah, white supremacy. And President Joe Biden gave a commencement speech at Howard, or I guess it is Howard University. I thought it was Harvard. But on Saturday when he warned graduates of the dangerous threats this country faces from white supremacy. I thought I was bad. You know, me, I'm not the perfect speaker. I stumble, I mispronounce words and all that. But yeah, this guy, again, the president of the United States of all people, right? You figured this president would be able to speak or find somebody that could do it for him. Even with the teleprompters, I mean, if I had teleprompters, this would be a perfect show. But I'm not like the fake scripted news, you know what I mean? So the president of the United States, right, they can't even speak for nothing. They can't. It's just like a bubbling fool. That's what he is. And I'll say right now he's a retard. I'll put it that way. So Justice says upside down hanging of U.S. flag was not intentional. So yeah, this is, check this out, right? Charleston, West Virginia, Governor Jim Justice said Wednesday the general service worker who hung the American flag upside down Tuesday above the east wing of the state capitol made an honest mistake. All right, so if you don't know what a general service worker is, right, they're in charge of things like that, right? They've been there for years, okay? So this guy puts his flag up for years, right? Knows how to do it, knows how to properly fold it when it's come down, right? So you think he's done this by accident? No. And I don't know if you're aware of what an upside-down American flag is. It's a sign of distress. The military bases used to do that, like if you're in a war somewhere, right? And if your base was taken over, right, they would say just run operations. The enemy would conquer the base and tell them to run operations like normal to make it look like we're not here. You know what I mean? So in the meanwhile, they got control of the base. So what the people used to do is a distress call. They would hang the flag every morning and they would put it upside down to let other people know we're under attack here. We've been taken over, whatever case, we're under distress, right? But that's been a distress call for ages. So if you think this guy did this by accident, unintentional, yeah, right. That's just a PR thing. That's all that was. And I'm sure this guy's fired. Well, I got a talking to, but yeah, basically that's, just showing a sign of distress for this country. Oh, look. it was the gentleman's first time hanging the flag, and he was switching it out at midday because the old flag was becoming tainted and worn. All right, so yeah, if you believe that, I got a nice oceanfront piece of property to sell you right in the middle of Arizona. Yeah. And it was a briefing on the coronavirus. Yeah. During this briefing here. So, yeah, it was his first time hanging the flag. He was switching the old flag out. You got to be a stupid moron, okay, to actually believe that. Seriously. A 10-year-old kid would know how to hang that flag right. That's just the guy saying, hey, this country is under attack. And he's exactly right. That's all that is. That was not intentional. Yeah, well, not intentional. Yeah, it was intentional. Dumb, it really is. But Governor Ron DeSantis signs bill barring credit cards from tracking gun sales in Florida. This is awesome because they've been attacking the Second Amendment government officials. What they do is they've been, the woke mafia, right, telling credit card companies, the Bloomberg witches, right, it's Mothers Demand Action, Newtown for gun safety and all that. All these criminals attacking our gun rights. The same people who exploit dead kids, right? They go on TV, cry about the kids, but they exploit those same kids to push tyrannical gun control. That gets more kids killed, right? Bunch of witches, that's what they are. So anyway, and they like to sue people. Well, I'm not going to go down that road, but yeah, bunch of scumbags. And so Governor Ron DeSantis signs bill barring credit card companies from tracking gun sales in Florida because these people, the woke mafia, they put a lot of pressure on the credit card companies. Hey, if somebody buys a gun or something from the gun store, track them and give all the information to the feds. You're buying legal guns, okay? When you go in the gun store, you get a background check, the whole 9 yards. It's legally purchased. It's none of your damn business what we buy. If I want to go buy 10,000 rounds of ammunition, it's nobody's business. It's not the ATF's business, nobody's business. I could go out and buy 10 AR-15s if I want, and an AK-47. It's my God-given and able right to do that. And I'm glad there's one governor, has some sense. And this governor here, he's very strong on the Second Amendment. They actually made the state of Florida constitutional carry. I think there's 27 states now. That's over half the country that's constitutional carry. That means you don't need a permit to carry a gun. That's the way it should be. It's always been that way for hundreds of years, and it should be that their way again. But yeah, they were trying to do this and also make credit card companies give a little resistance from you using to buy a gun, which is illegal. And they were trying to do this with banks and all that. So, but Governor Ron DeSantis signed this bill. Signed legislation Friday that prohibits credit card companies from tracking gun sales in Florida. Good. And it posted an announcement on Florida governor's homepage saying, today, Governor Ron DeSantis signed Senate bill, it's SB 7054 and SB 214 to protect the personal finances of Floridians from government overreach and woke corporate monitoring. Because once you go woke, you go broke. We could see that with Bud Light. I don't know if you guys seen that. Bud Light, they took a major hit. I think it was billions of dollars they've lost or something like that. And you got liquor stores and bar rooms literally giving away Bud Light because they can't sell it. And it's going to go bad, So they're literally giving it away to people. Yeah, you go woke, you go broke. But yeah, good for Governor Ron DeSantis. And I don't know if he's he's supposed to be running for president. And I think he's just tingling at the idea, which arouses people in the Republican Party. Because the thing is, the rhinos in the Republican, they don't want people like him in there. They just want a puppet like George Bush. That's all they want. That's why they give Trump a hard time too. But yeah, but I don't know if he's going to be running this year, but probably 4 years from now, I would suggest him to run. But yeah, because right now, you like Trump or hate him, his polls are surging. Just like they were in 2016. His polls are surging, and I think he's going to take this one again, unless the globals have another idea. So we'll see about that. So good for Governor Ron DeSantis. And surprise, Christian Church tries to halt release of trans shooters manifesto. So the transgender shot up the church, right? And then the media won't tell you that. They'll just say it's some white supremacist or something like that. But four of the last several shootings were transgenders. Yeah, go figure, right? So Covenant Presbyterian Church filed a motion over the weekend to prevent the release of transgender shooter Audrey Hale's journals of writings, according to the court documents. So the release of Hale's manifesto has been halted by several lawsuits that were filed earlier in the month in Metro National Police Department, indicating that the documents may be made public. The church filed a motion Friday requesting that the documents be withheld from the public due to privacy concerns, according to court documents. So here's the question here. If I was at this press conference, I'd be like, yeah, big question to this church. Why are you trying to hide this? So I think this transgender here was a member of this church, which everybody believes it was. I think you're more positive, right? So why would the church, this Covenant Presbyterian Church, file a motion, actually go to court to file a motion to withhold these documents? And mind you, these are the documents, the manifesto of the shooter. Why would they be trying to protect the shooter? What's going on here? Did this church do something bad? Not that justifies a shooting. Why would they be wanting to do that? Something stinks on here. And the motion was filed against the Tennessee Firearms Association and a second with the National Police Association by the church to protect its interests. So makes you wonder, what are they trying to protect? So I'm guessing somewhere in that shooter's journals, right? I'm guessing that some flaky business went down in that church. That's what I'm guessing. That they don't want the public to know because in their interest, to protect the interest, right? Not that it justifies a shooting or anything like that, but there's some nasty business that probably went down in that church that they don't want the public to know. Because why would you do that? Yeah. You don't go to court and go through all that problems and withhold the shooter of all people, the shooter's, his, not hers, his manifesto. Let me know what you guys think in the chat room. You think the church is withholding information purposely to protect, the truth that really happened in that place? Let me know yes or no in the chat room, guys. I want to get your thoughts on that. So that's So the record sought petitioners' complaint. The petition may be included in or relate to the information owned by Covenant Church, including, but not limited to, schematics of the church facilities and confidential information pertaining to Covenant Church employees. That's what it's about right there. Covenant Church employees, right? What was going on in there? In the motion read, Covenant Church is so situated that the disposition of the action may impair and impede its ability to protect its interests and privacy of its employees. Yeah, right. Yeah, why would you go through all that problems to do that? Or they could easily find a motion to say, all right, yeah, we have no problem you giving away the manifesto, but just censor out where the shooter had all the layout, the blueprints of the place. Yeah, that's fine. Censor that, for the privacy of the church. But why would you want it all censored? What was going on in that church? Because this person was a member of that church. What was going on in there? There had to be something, okay, I'm not justifying at all the shooting, but there had to be something that triggered this person. What was going on in that church? And I'm sure that person kept it in his journal, this is happening, and he got sick of it, and something triggered him to shoot that place up. That's what they don't want you to know. And of course, the court would definitely, any court in the world would say, all right, we'll leave out that part for the public, the schematics of the place, for the safety of the place. But what was going on in there? That's what I want to know. I would love to see those journals. It's kind of strange, isn't it? So actually, before we get to that, and I just want to go over the Second Amendment stuff here. So we talk about the Second Amendment all the time, and I bring this up once in a while here. So just want to give a quick education what the Second Amendment's about, because it's you hear it in the media, right? you don't know what's up and down. You don't know what the Second Amendment really is. So, and the thing is, if you notice, right, every time the media brings the Second Amendment up, you'll never see this on the screen. They'll have some goofy lawyer that has no clue what he's talking about. Somebody come on, oh, I'm from Harvard University and law degree and all that. You don't need any of that to interpret the Constitution. So the Second Amendment reads, because they'll say the Second Amendment is only for militia members, right? They'll say it's limited to what you could have, only muskets, right? Where does it say that now? So let's read it. The thing is, the Second Amendment has two parts to this. There's two sections of the Second Amendment. Like the First Amendment, right? How many sections of that? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, right? There's several parts to the First Amendment, right? There's two parts here to the Second Amendment. Number one is a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, right? Saying a militia needs to be in place to prevent a standing army. That's what it's for. And who define who the militia is, though? They'll say it's the National Guard. Well, the state militia, yes, is the National Guard. The constitutional, well-regulated means well-controlled. Well-organized, not controlled by the city, state, or government. That's the people. Says James Madison, defined by, we're going to show you that, right? Second part is the right of the people. Does it say, right here, militias, yes, they carry guns, right? But it says right here, they said the Second Amendment to carry guns is only for the militias, right? That's what the media shows you, but they'll show this on the screen. But look, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Does it say limited to muskets? Does it say limited to certain things? And no. So James Madison, this is a breakdown. James Madison and the Founding Fathers discuss each section of the Second Amendment. When they ratified, it took them 2 years to ratify the Bill of Rights. 1789 they were proposed, and it took them 2 full years to get it right. Called the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, right? Each one of these were defined, okay, by Founding Fathers. I could go over the quotes from them all day. I can literally pull up at least 10 to 20 Founding Fathers that specified the militia, right, in the Constitution there is you, me, and the people. Not the military, not the National Guard, not the police, you. Anybody that's able to carry a firearm, right? So they broke it down, right? It says a well-regulated militia, they define it, right? A militia, when properly formed, are in fact the people themselves. The people, not the military or nothing, right? Whose ability to act both personal and common defense must be well maintained, right? And it says, being necessary to the security of a free state, to be secure in personal liberty, the state of being free, and the governance of free people, the state securing the rights of the free people. Right? So the right is like self-governance. This is to prevent a standing army against us. It's intended for the people to be more armed than the military. That's the formula of liberty. And that's what the globalists say. Look, the right of the people, right? The whole of the people. An individual right independent of what? Independent of government. The government can't touch this with a 10-foot pole. Period. To keep and bear arms. Does it say, muskets? And they had rapid-fire guns back then, too. They don't want to tell you that. Look, to keep and bear arms. To own and carry arms of, look, whatever type necessary. You hear muskets in there? Whatever type of firearm necessary for you to own to effectively provide for personal defense and defense against tyranny. Period. So when these blokes come out and say, you don't need a weapon in war. You don't need an AR-15. Yes, I do. As long as the enemy's got an AR-15, AK-47, we need AR-15s and AK-47s. And it shall not be infringed, just plain and simple. Right? Shall not be limited. The government has no control to tell you how many guns you can have. Shall not be regulated, federally excessively taxed or encroached upon in any manner at all. The government has no right to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Period. And people's opinions are irrelevant. When it comes to this. This is what it says, and that's what it is. It's been like that for hundreds of years. And the thing is, you get these goofy lawyers on TV. I'm a lawyer, so I can interpret this better than you. So let me guess. So for 200 years, we got it all wrong, right? For 200 years, that people been carrying firearms without permits and everything else, and that's how we have a secure country, right, at the time, right? But just now, you guys finally figured it out, right? You know, that's why I tell these people at the gun hearings and all that stuff, and make them look like jackasses. Because they sit there and brag about their credentials, and then when I throw this stuff in their face, they look like deer in the headlight. Then they don't want to talk to you after that, because they know you own them. And I don't even have 1 day in law school, and I don't need to have a day in law school to interpret this. You go right to the source of the Founding Fathers, what it meant. A kid could understand this. And Thomas Jefferson, right, he said the strongest reason for the people to retain the right to keep, look, the people, does it say National Guard? No. The people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is, as a last resort, to protect themselves against tyranny in government. George Washington said this. Okay, James Madison said this. All of them said this. Patrick Henry, all of them. And JFK said this too. Yeah, we got several quotes by JFK supporting the Second Amendment. He said the same thing. To keep the government at bay. That's what it's for. So the day the government says, we're going to come take your guns, the day you go, yeah, bring it on, scumbags. That's what you do. That's what it's for, okay? The Second Amendment, this here is my Second Amendment, right? This protects us. This keeps us free. Number 1 is God. Number 2 is guns. Without these things, okay, we'd be living in slavery right now. Without these things, we wouldn't have a free country. And that's why they want to take these out of your hands. They hate, it just makes these globalists cringe. Just the fact I got this right here, right? I'm not presenting no danger to nobody, right? Just this fact right here, it makes them cringe, okay? The fact that a free citizen owns a firearm and knows how to use it very well. It scares them to death. It scares them the crap out of the pants. Because they know a conscious and armed public is the best defense against a world government. Besides Jesus Christ. They know that. They know that, I know that, you know that, we all know that. And that's what they want. They want to scare the American public to say, we got to give these up so we can run rampant over you people. Sickening, really is. It's just horrible. And switching gears here, guys, we got, because I could be on this all day. This Second Amendment stuff, I could be on this all day, literally. And they hate the fact, okay, that I could buy one of these, I could go to a shooting range, have fun with it, defend my family, my house and everything. Defend this place if I had to. They hate that. They don't want you owning these things. You know the thing is, too? This right here, if you were in any other country in the world doing this right now, right? You know what happened to you? You would have government agents kicking your door in and taking your gun and you thrown in jail. They don't want you defending yourselves. This is a God-given right. All the entire Old Testament. Okay, Peter carried a sword too. They took up arms against evil people, instructed by God to go slay them or defend themselves. And let me ask you a question, right? Let me show you something, right? When David took the little rock, right? A rock, whatever, and slayed Goliath with it, right in the head with the sling, right? What's the difference between, see this little piece of lead in there? That's the bullet, this is a case in there, right? What's the difference between this and a rock? What is it? None. Both are minerals from the earth. That's minerals from the earth, right? Both are from projectiles. David used a sling. This is a gun, okay? Both are projectiles that cast a mineral from the earth to strike a target to kill it. There's no difference between the two. None at all. And in fact, that sling that David has is more powerful than half the guns out there. The force of that rock hitting somebody in the skull, especially a Nephilim giant like that. You know what I mean? So, and people need to realize that. There's no difference between the stuff. You know, and so we have a God-given, that's why the Founding Fathers said it's God-given inalienable rights, independent of government. And I got to switch gears here because we're going to be running out of time. So RuPaul's Drag Con features twerking Teletubbies, kids surrounded by sex toys, and half-naked adults. Yeah, and they call this diversity and equity. And if you say anything about it, you are a bigot. Well, I guess I stand guilty, right? So adult-themed sexual events being publicized and promoted by acceptable for children by perverting the globalist establishment. And a song with lyrics, I'm horny all night long, blast in the background. Place with kids, right? Teletubbies walking around with sex toys, right? This song playing in the background with kids there. Imagine your 3-year-old, 10-year-old, daddy, what's horny mean? How do you explain that? First of all, if you bring your kids to one of these things and you know about what's going on, yeah, you need to get your kids taken away from you. And you should be charged for child abuse and exploiting children to sexual stuff. These people here, these are perverts, okay? These are groomers, pedophiles. And this piece of work, RuPaul, right? DragCon hit Los Angeles, California this weekend, bringing a popular drag queen television show to the public with special kids zone. They love your kids. These people are sexually attracted to your kids. And if they have it their way, they're going to make it a law so they can have sex with kids. It's going that way, especially in California. For parents to leave their children, great, yeah. Not only parents are, bad enough to bring the kids there, but to leave them. Leave the children there during the rent. The Kids Zone featured a meet and greet with characters from the children's show Teletubbies who joined the stage to dance with the drag queen. Well, so, oh man. Yeah, it's just like, I pray for these kids, I really do. Oh man, that just gets my blood boiling. It really does. And these people, they're going to pay a price, guys. They are going to pay a price. And I'll bring it up again and again and again and again, right? What does Jesus say about this stuff? Anybody who misleads children, okay, it's better tie a millstone around his neck and drown him in the ocean than have to face God. Yeah, RuPaul, okay, you and your whole entire drag committee, all right, groomers, right? You all got to pay a heavy price. Yeah, going in there and beating the snot out of you guys would be too good. It would be too good. Because you know what God's got to do to you? You know what the Lord's got to do to you on Judgment Day. And I don't even want to say it here because you think, you think hell's bad? Hell is nothing compared to what the Lord's going to do to you. To do these to kids. This boils my blood to no end. And this year, the convention is granted free admission for children under 8 with each paid adult ticket, although children under 16 are prevented from separately tickets after our events. And it's not clear why the underage attendees, 16 and 17, were able to go to the after hours. Oh yeah, 16, 17-year-old, welcome to the after hour party. And this is by Kellen McBreen. I love Kellen. He's awesome. He's the son of Darren McBreen. Darren's like a real close friend of mine. I used to work for InfoWars, if you don't know that already. And me and Darren, that's his father. He's a reporter for InfoWars.com and a producer. So switching gears, Sports Illustrated 2023 swimsuit issue to feature transgender biological man on the cover. Yeah, that's where it's going. Beloved America icon has become a vehicle for woke propaganda, further developing normal standards of beauty. And worship the tranny, you're a bigot. If you don't worship the tranny, you're a bigot. I guess I'm guilty. Me ask everybody in the chat room, right? So according to this, right, it says, and everybody in the chat room, right? According to this, it says, if you don't worship the tranny, basically, you're a bigot, right? So everybody show hands if we're all bigots, okay? In this case here, yeah, I'm a bigot. I stand for morals, so if that makes me a bigot, then I stand guilty. It's a man, baby. She's a man, man. It's disgusting, man. They got to pervert everything. You know what I mean? Sickening. The magazine revealed Monday Petrus is among 4 cover models on this year's swimsuit issue, along with 81-year-old housekeeper Martha Stewart. Oh, man. Imagine seeing Martha Stewart in a bikini. It'd be like seeing Mae Young from the WWE. You might ask yourself, too, what does that got to do with sports? I never figured that out. You know what I mean? Like, what is putting a woman on a cover like that, right? Exploiting herself. What does that got to do with sports? Crazy, huh? So if you could believe that, the World Health Organization, and I got to be careful. Oh, no, this is the next one. I'm sorry. So the World Health Organization pushes for childhood masturbation for children ages newborn to 4, arguing that sexuality education starts from birth. So the WHO, right? This is says a guidance for age 4 and under should be taught about enjoyment and pleasure when touching one's own body, early childhood masturbation. This is their document here. It says it gains an awareness of gender identity. In other words, they say, oh, gender identity right there, right? So the kid could choose its own gender identity. A kid don't choose his own. You got a penis, okay? You got a pee-pee, you're a boy, okay? You got a vagina, you're a girl. You don't get to decide that. Enjoyment and pleasure when touching one's own body. These people are sick child molesters. And the person who wrote this, man, and the person who made this document, yeah, you are one sick SOB. You should be castrated. And that's being nice. You should be castrated. And everybody who was part of this, you should all be castrated. Discovery of his own, a 4-year-old? Come on. And kids are what? They're in diapers to 2-3 years old, depending on the kid. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, look at this disgusting stuff. Yeah. Horrible stuff. Really is. Just I'm looking at this, I'm like, what? And if you listen on ShakeAwakeRadio.com, which is audio edition, I'm just looking at a guideline from the World Health Organization talk about sexuality of children 4 and under. The fact that enjoyment of physical closeness is normal part of everyone's life. Tenderness and physical closeness and expression, love and affection, talk about a pleasurable feeling of one's own body, express one's own needs, wishes, boundaries, an example of context of playing doctor, quote unquote, which means touching yourself and all that. What in the hell? I mean, this would be bad for a high school, okay? This would be borderline for high school kids. The adolescent adults, right? This will be still borderline for them. Let alone a 4-year-old. What kind of sick son of a bitch are you? Seriously, man. Like, what could we go through your mind, you satanic piece of crap? And I don't care if I get arrested or not. If I come across these people, I'd knock them right out without even a second hesitation. It'd be worth going to jail. Well, what are you in here for? Because I beat the hell out of a pedophile. And half the prison would be like, you know what they do to pedophiles in prison? Yeah. And if you went to jail beating the hell out of a pedophile, yeah, you'd be loved in the prison. You'd be worshipped, basically. Not worshipped, but honored, whatever the case. Not that you want to go to prison in the first place. I'm just saying. Yeah, tell the judge, like, do you touch that guy? Did you assault him? Oh, yeah, I did, and I loved every minute of it, and I'll do it again. That's how you go after these people. And this emergency is over. Now, I got to watch what I say here. All right, so switching gears to this word here, the P word. I got in trouble a lot on YouTube talking about this stuff. But so no long story short, the UN, okay, and the WHO, they're getting ready for the next one. What we went through, okay, the last 2 years. They talk about a next one. And we showed you videos over the last year or so of Bill Gates and all that. That's what got us in trouble on the other channel. Bill Gates and all that talking about, laughing about this whole thing and saying, the next one's going to be worse. So I just want to pop that one up there real quick, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because I want to avoid getting in trouble with YouTube there. So they're talking about another one, all right, which will come with more lockdowns, the whole 9 yards. More Koofy juice in your arm, the whole 9 yards. So check this out. A tornado atop of Rocky Mountains in Montana. So I'll talk about freak stuff going on. And you ever see a tornado on top of a mountain? If this is not the end times, I don't know what is, man. Yesterday was a thunderstorm that came over the Rocky Mountains in Montana. A tornado formed the top of the mountains. This is probably one for the history books. So an actual tornado on the mountain. Guys, do you think that's normal in the chat room? I don't know if anybody else has heard or seen one of these things. Is this normal? Did you ever hear or see one of these things? Because I've never heard or seen anything like that. That's an actual tornado on the mountain, on the Rocky Mountains. It's either a sign from God or the weather modification people. So record-breaking heat scorches the western U.S. and Canada as wildfires continue to rage. So we report about that, the massive wildfires in Canada. And there's a massive heat wave going on. Yeah, because it's normal this time of year, by the way. They don't want to tell you that. Normally, okay, I remember growing up, we had, right in the spring, it started getting hot. That's what it does. It's normal, okay? And they say it's a massive heat wave. This is signs of climate change. No, it's not. Not at all. And what is going on half the time is the act of God, because God's dealing his justice on this earth. And the other side, too, is federal agencies burning these things, too, in the United States. We showed that in California. But whatever the case, the West has taken a dive straight into summer with temperatures well above the normal seen even at the end of July. Record-breaking temperatures and heat wave will continue to grip the entire region through the much of the week. So 89, 90 degrees, 94 degrees. No worry about heat waves and everything else. Today will be the fourth day with 80s, high in the 80s in Seattle. So this crazy stuff in the wildfires there are bad in Canada. And check this out: mystery poop rains down on cars in drive-thru. I come out to my car the other day. I had 2 or 3 plops on my, 2 on my windshield, 1 on my driver's side. But you ever see something like this? After a stinky mess believed by a Minnesota family to be feces rained down on multiple cars during the drive-thru, origins of substance still unknown. That looks like bird crap to me, but I guess multiple cars all over the place. How many birds were there? And why would they all poop at the same time? You know what I mean? Something's going on. I would like to see surveillance videos, to tell you the truth, but whatever the case. And like any other day, Carissa Brown and her son were waiting in the drive-thru on Monday at Caribou Coffee in Burnsville when suddenly some foul-smelling stuff fell from the sky. See if there's any video on this. Nope. So she was saying, I was waiting in line and get my daily coffee, and all of a sudden, brown dropped onto my vehicle, and it was like raining brown for a second. I got out and went into the car in front of me, and I was like, what just happened to us? And they're like, I don't know. We have no idea. So they have no clue what happened. You guys think it was birds or like a large flock of birds, or what do you guys think in the chat room? I would like to know. Brighteon, airplane, toilet leak, empty, whatever. Yeah, that could be the case too. But the thing is, the stuff from the plane is blue. There's like a blue dye they put in the water. I used to work for the airlines. So in the lavatories there, And the tanks, I used to have to empty them when I first started working. It was disgusting, but you hook this big hose up to it, and you empty the toilets. You know what I mean? And from the outside of the plane, but it's all blue. It's this blue liquid. It's that dye they put in there. It controls the odor and everything too, but it's all blue. But and who knows? Well, it could be from the plane that they didn't probably have the blue dye in it. Because I remember when I filled the tanks with the water, we had to put a couple packs of blue dye in it. So you throw the packs in and they dissolve into the water. So maybe, that could have been the case that they didn't put the blue dye into it. And, the seal burst. It could be anything, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So this here, what is this? About judgment, right? So check this out.
Crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
You take a real good look at the video there. Right there, see that light right there? It's in the middle of the sky that blows up like that.
Light up now.
And that's an actual trumpet. I don't know where this was.
That's crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
When the video starts, you'll see this bright orange light right there that'll appear in the sky. Right there, see it? And it flashes like this now. So the question is, was that an angel doing it?
That's crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
Somebody says this is the third one in 6 years.
Light up now.
Somebody said Project
Bluebeam. That's crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
So you guys think that's Project Bluebeam, or you think that's an actual angel or something, an act of God, whatever the case? And I think I'm going to go with the God side in this one, because the thing is, it was Project Bluebeam, right? They would have made it shown, they would have made sure it was known all over the place, you know what I mean? But to do that, just in the middle of nowhere like that, I really think that's act of God, because God's been showing himself all over the world. Look what happened at Ramadan. Yeah, all these locusts happened a couple years ago. There's millions of locusts all over Ramadan. This year they got massive torrential lightning and rain, floods and everything else. Yeah, Red Lamar, hear a trumpet. Yes, yeah, you can hear a trumpet in there. Let me see if I could turn this up louder.
Up now. That's crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
Yeah, you got that right, Joanne. We'll find out soon. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. That looked real to me, and the thing is, if it was Project Bluebeam, it could have been. I'm not dismissing it, but it could have been that. But what would be the purpose unless they made it known to everybody? You know what I mean? So we'll see. You know what I mean? But it was kind of bad weather out there and everything else. So I like these videos here because they show a lot of good stuff here. So this is one in the Catholic Church here, and this is kind of crazy.
Have you ever asked why the Catholic Church and Islam get along so well? A picture is worth 1,000 words. So let the pictures do the talking. Prayer beads. Catholic. Islamic. Dress. Catholic. Islamic. Holy war. Crusades. Jihad. Walking around. The Holy Sepulchre. The Kaaba. None of these things are biblical, so it is clear that they don't come from the God of the Bible. Both these religions were founded by Constantine and his Jesuits, in a quest for world domination. They are pulling together the cords for the one world religion under the Antichrist, right now. Don't be fooled.
Yeah, so you can see that Project Bluebeam will be used holographic technology to show Messiah in the sky, being able to talk to each other individual in all languages. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt they'll stage a fake rapture because we know the pre-tribulation rapture is a lie. But the thing is, the world's taught that, right? So the globalists would use that, to stage a pre-tribulation rapture, right? And just to deceive people, then the people left here like, oh, why was I left here? Because I'm a believer. And they're going to fall for the Antichrist. They're going to be deceived and everything else, right? So, I wouldn't doubt they'll use Project Bluebeam to stage a rapture. But the Bible says immediately after the tribulation, not before, after. We've done tons of shows on that. That's dispensationalism. John Nelson Darby and all them taught that pre-tribulation rapture garbage. There's no pre-tribulation, Matthew chapter 24 says exactly that. Immediately after the tribulation, Jesus will return. After the Antichrist comes first, then Jesus. Now, what they teach today in the modern day church, we're not going to be after the Antichrist. Jesus comes and we're going, then the tribulation. There's no point of a tribulation. If we're gone, Jesus comes and gets us all, right? If we're all gone, what's the point of a tribulation? Because the tribulation doesn't affect the evil people. They confuse that with the wrath of God. The wrath of God affects them, not the tribulation. The tribulation is against who? Not the evil ones, us. Where Satan will have power to overcome the saints. That's what the Bible says. Who are the saints? Oh, it's the left behind. There's no left behind. It's not how it works. They do that purposely to deceive people. So when they do stage a fake rapture, how many people are going to be like, oh, I got left here, but I guess I wasn't a real believer? Then they're going to be deceived by this world government. And the thing is, so when this Antichrist pops up, right, because they've been taught that Jesus comes first. So when they see this Antichrist, this fake man of peace pop up, right, and half these people don't even know the Bible themselves, so they're going to fall for him. The Antichrist comes from a temple, right? Jesus comes from the sky. Then the church says, oh, no, that's figuratively. It's figuratively. He's not literally coming from the sky. That's what they teach, right? They think everything in the Bible just about is all figuratively. No, it's literally. He's literally going to come from the sky. Literally. The stars in heavens, they're literally, not figuratively, literally going to fall. The sun and moon light, it's literally going to stop giving light. And Jesus is literally going to come through the clouds. And everybody in the whole world, all the eyes are literally going to see him. It's not figuratively. And these people don't understand biblical cosmology, even remotely comprehend such a thing. So going back to this again. Oh yeah, there's a video. I played that last week. I don't have it right here, but there's a video of Mecca being... Let me see if I can pull that up for you real quick. What time is it? Yeah, I got to actually speed up. I'm sorry. If you want to watch the video, if you actually pull up Mecca, it's on all the social media things. Pull up Mecca being flooded during Ramadan. You could actually find it. I did play it last week and the week before, so I apologize, and I'm kind of running out of time here. So we'll have to just speed it up here. But speaking of Mecca, right? Speaking of Mecca, actually, do I get the video? Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. Here's the video. Because I do have that video. I apologize. It's right there. Rain causes flooding in Saudi Arabia's Mecca province. And there was another video too. I don't have that one. I don't think I do. Access denied. Well, the video I was going to show you too, it showed Mecca, right? And lightning and thunder striking everywhere, and people were scattering because they were afraid, and like torrential rains are coming down. So yeah, that's crazy, man. And this here, right, showing how the Catholic Church. Well, I want to do a show on this sometime, but the creators of the whole Islamic Muslim religion is Constantine, the same clown who created the Catholic Church. If you notice the difference between that, right? That and Christianity, real Christianity. And people today, they lump Catholicism with Christianity. They say that, Christian, they're not Christian, right? The Catholics don't go by this. I don't care what people say. I used to be a Catholic. Catholics don't go by the Bible. Everything they do is a contradiction to what it says. Everything. Same thing with the Islamic religion. They both worship Mary as a deity. The Bible, Jesus himself says not to do that. Mary knew darn well, okay, that people are going to do that in the future. The Bible talks about this. She's a blessed mother. I'm not bashing a woman, but she didn't die a virgin, okay? She had children with her husband, Joseph, and rightfully so. Perfectly fine in the eyes of God. The Bible says that right in Matthew, right at the end of Matthew. It says she knew her husband not, and some translations say she didn't compensate her marriage not until after Jesus was born. She was a virgin when she was pregnant with Jesus, right? After she gave birth to Jesus, right? And sometime after that, she had sex with her husband and had children. That's how Jesus had brothers and sisters. The Bible points this all out. And yeah, Joseph had some of his own kids. He was a widower. But they had brothers and sisters with Mary. Jesus had brothers and sisters. And she's not a deity to be worshipped. And Jesus says there's no other name under heaven that can save you but me. They want to lift her up as a co-redeemer, as a deity. She's not a deity. And Islam and there's so much similarities in Islam and Catholic Church. Both worship Mary, right? They exalt her as the Queen of Heaven, which is anti-Bible. Okay, they both use praying beads. These are pagan things. Mary had not at all ever had a pagan bead. Okay, there was no Hail Mary prayer in the Bible. None at all. When it talks about Hail Mary, right, in the Bible, it's an angel hailing her. Like, hello, Mary. Like all hail, when the king used to want to talk, they had the people come out and blow the trumpet to get everybody's attention. And they say, all hail. In other words, everybody listen. And there's a king, right? And then he starts talking. They get their attention first. The angel came out and said, Hail Mary. Not that they was worshiping bowing to Mary. No, hail. They were hailing her. You remember on Star Trek, the hailing frequencies, like hail that ship over there, and they would send a frequency out to get that ship's attention. You know what I mean? So that's what it means. And it didn't say she was a holy figure. But the Catholics and Islam think so, and Mexican cults think so too. This is satanic as it comes, man. Both of them use this crescent moon. If you look at Kaaba there, right in Mecca, the crescent moon's a big symbol there. It's both the Catholic Church and Islam. It's all so many similarities with them too. And the thing is too, you hear Muslims attacking Christians all over the Middle East, right? You'll never, ever hear of Islamic terrorists at all even remotely attacking Catholic churches. Or Rome. They go hand in hand. The Pope travels around with Islamic leaders all the time. He kisses the Quran, says we all serve the same God. No, I don't serve the same God as the Quran. Allah is not our God. Allah is a fake moon god. It's a satanic cult. That's exactly what it is. There's a whole Catholic, the Catholics, guys, and I'm not talking about the regular folks who are Catholic. The Catholic Church has caused so much pollution in this world. The Jesuits and everything. They have changed times. They have changed all laws. They really corrupted and destroyed even today's so-called Christian churches who now abide by Catholic ways. They didn't do that in this country hundreds of years ago. Protestants too, and Puritans, Christians, we didn't go by what the Catholic Church said. We avoided the fake holidays and not Christian at all, the satanic. Oh man, I could be here forever with this stuff, but yeah, I don't know what that was about, but yeah, that's about the end of the broadcast. Yeah, so we got to get going. But the guys, thank you all for joining us. Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, Mecca. There's a Mecca. Pee-wee's Playhouse. Tim Morgan, you all remember Pee-wee's Playhouse? It's funny. That's what the Vatican is Pee-wee's Playhouse. Oh, man. So, yeah, we're going to do a show on that someday, but the whole Catholic thing, yeah, it's so diabolical. And guys, subscribe to Brian's channel, Visual Disturbance. It's Brian's new glasses. We have one that can see. So speaking of all this, guys, and all these world churches say, everybody's going to heaven. Wide is the gate and all that stuff, right? Yeah, we all serve the same God. No, we don't. I don't serve the same God as these people. I serve the God of the Bible. Because Matthew 7:13 and 14 says, enter into the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way to destruction. And many will go there. And because straight and narrow is the gate, right, which lead into life, and the few will find it. So what it's saying is like this world, this one world religion, which is going on now, right, headed by the Pope. They got hundreds of religions under this ecumenical system. 40,000 different denominations of Christianity, Islam, Buddhists, Hindus, even some atheists of all people have joined into this, right? To say, we all serve the same God. And the atheists say they respect the Pope. The atheists don't respect people of God at all, but they respect the Pope because I believe the Pope is the Antichrist is a false prophet. But wide is the gate to destruction, and narrow is the way to heaven, plain and simple. So we got a PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, and that link's also in the chat room, guys, if you want to donate and contribute to this operation. And also, guys, coming up Friday, Nephilim Heroes of Old in the Marvelverse. Me, Brian, and Trey Harris. The Bull, the Milkman, and the Boy. 9 p.m. Eastern, Spiritual Warfare Friday, so please check it out. And thank you for tuning in to Breaking New World Order. It's been an awesome show. So, yeah, we're going to get some more time or something. I was thinking of starting this show at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, but because I want to actually take phone calls from you guys and all that and let you guys weigh in on all the subjects going on in the media. So, yeah, I think we'll start doing the show a little bit earlier, at least a half hour, maybe an hour earlier. This way I'll give you enough time because I got to work at, 11 o'clock. So I work third shift. So this way I'll give you guys time to call in and weigh in on the subjects and all that stuff. And I can interact with you guys better. Yeah, thank you, Laurie. God bless you, Laurie Cost and Anne Marie. And who else is here? Harold McCain, thank you for moderating the chat and putting those Bible verses up. That's awesome stuff. Thank you, Lariva. Who else? Ian and Pam, Emily, Jamie. Who else is here? Tim and everybody else in the chat room. Bill, thank you for joining. My buddy Daniel and Bill, thank you guys for joining on. And Bill Conti, my other buddy. So, American Country Boy, what's up? My watching dogs in my second amendment. You got that right, brother. American Cowboy. Yeah, your Second Amendment is your protection. That's right. So, anyway, guys, that being said, we'll see you Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And check us out. Again, me, Brian, and Trey Harris, we're going to be rocking the show, man. So, love you all. God bless and shalom. And you are the resistance. Declaring war on the New World Order. TruthRadioShow.com.